Krystal, thank you so much for being willing to do this coaching call.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad you are. I'm glad it's not too much of a pressure. I would love for you to start with an introduction. Tell us about you.
Okay. I am mom of four, which is still really weird for me to say that. I've got three boys who are ages, almost 8 and almost 6. Their birthdays are in 2 weeks. And then a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old little girl. So my husband teaches chemistry at a university, and here we are.
Sounds like you've been through a lot. That's a lot on a
That's
on a body, on a psyche, everything,
yes.
everything.
The
So what brought you to this coaching call today?
well, uh, as I mentioned, I just had my fourth baby, and I'm not young. I had one of those geriatric pregnancy, and
I
I
laugh because
mean,
I know I have had
it's
one
cool.
too. Yes.
It's hilarious. I had three very similar pregnancies, and then
Hmm.
one very different pregnancy. Everything about my little girl's pregnancy was different. And after she was born, it's like in my mind, I entered into it with the wrong idea that I would be able to get back to feeling like myself and everything and
Okay.
my physical stuff, just like how I felt in my body. I would get back to that pretty quickly because I actually lost a lot of weight at the beginning of pregnancy. And then, I was headed in the right trajectory. And then I realized there were some problems. I wasn't getting those goals. My energy levels weren't coming back. Anyway, long story short, I was recently diagnosed with Hashimoto's,
Yeah.
and that is a thyroid situation. And
Hmm.
it's basically my thyroid doesn't work, like it's underactive, and it messes with your metabolism, slows it down, and it kills your energy. So, my biggest thing is that I want to feel like myself in my body.
Okay.
However, I find in that I revert to like nutritionally is where I struggle the most. And my goals are to eat foods that will support me in that. But I struggle with bad habits of just grabbing whatever's available, not putting an emphasis on the foods that I know will support me best. And so, guess you could say my focus would be I'm wanting help with good eating habits
Hmm.
so that I can at least work toward my goals in conjunction with now having this medical support that I desperately need.
Okay.
So,
And obviously, I'm just going to state this so we know, I'm not a doctor. You know it. I'm
yeah.
not here to give you advice with that stuff, nor am I a dietitian. I'm not here to tell you what to eat. I don't even think you need me to do that. I know that's not what you're here for. So,
Right.
what is it about the nutrition that you're like,
So,
Monica can help me with this?
so what I came up with is that I have, like you said, I have ideas of what I want
Mm-hmm.
and what I feel like I would enjoy. But lunch is one of my big issues
Okay.
because I have a 3-year-old that I get lunch for. My older two already had their lunch there at school, but I get lunch for my 3-year-old and I get food that I know he'll eat, so I don't have to fight him.
Sure.
And then I get food for my baby. So she's eating more solids and stuff like that. So I prep that, get that for her. And when it comes time to feed mom, I am so tired
Yeah.
that I don't, I'll eat the macaroni and cheese that I made for my 3-year-old who, it's fine. It's not great. I don't love it, but I eat it. Um, but I have other foods that I want to eat. I just am so tired. that even the idea of getting the food just doesn't happen.
Okay.
So there's one thing. The other
Mhm.
thing is the habit of like, I'll just walk through if I haven't actually gotten a lunch, no matter how nutritious or filling it might have been. I'll just walk through the kitchen and say, oh, I just need a little something. And I'll grab something that's going to last me about 15 minutes and then I'll be hungry again because I
Good.
just habit of just grabbing something for the ease of grabbing it. And it takes no
Yeah.
thought, which is about what I've got to give right now. So,
And I'm curious about, I mean, we'll talk more about the specifics later and kind of dig into the snack stuff, but just like an initial thought I've been having there is I'm curious about how much the getting the quick snacks is more about like your body needing energy and you not obviously having the energy to create like an actual snack, like build it
yeah,
and put it on a plate kind of thing. But it makes sense that that's what your body's asking for. Like, I need energy because I am so low energy. So this is how I'm going to do it. It's like this biological push, even more so than it is maybe a bad habit or a
that's true.
character flaw or a lack
I
of
hadn't
self
even thought
control.
that.
So, what is that little shift there? What is that changing for you?
Honestly, what that thought actually does is it helps me see that grabbing something as I walk through the kitchen isn't necessarily the problem.
Hmm.
Problem is, am I putting what will help me,
Got it.
what's available to me, so that I can quickly grab something that will boost my energy,
Okay.
but I can do more forethought. It's not so much in the moment. I can
Okay.
give it more forethought.
Good. And I'm also wondering, like, does it help remove, like, I'm thinking about your diagnosis. Like, I'm sure that was in many ways very validating to hear
It
that it
was.
wasn't a you problem. Does that
Yeah.
help maybe validate even what you perceived as maybe a bad habit when really it's like a biological need that just is
Yeah.
trying to get met? Does that
Yeah.
validate?
Absolutely. It does. In your mind, you say, well, I'm a little broken because I
Mhm.
just am going back to these things without thinking about it. But really, it makes sense that I just need something.
Yeah. You need energy
I need the energy and it's
and you have
lacking.
low energy. Yeah.
I have 4 kids and I have a thyroid issue. So,
Mhm. For small kids.
all kids.
Yeah, for that's a whole other ballgame, you know?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So the reason I think that's really important for us to just make sure we're taking some time on is because just like exercise, the way we eat is so loaded. It's so loaded by shame,
Mhm.
pressures, prescriptions, shoulds, like all those things that make it kind of difficult to untangle where a bad habit is or where actual needs are. And when we remove that self blame, we actually are able to look at things with more objectivity and get clearer information on what's at play here so that we can work with it better instead of it just becoming another character issue. Um,
Yes.
which I think helps. So, because
Absolutely.
that's actually part of the brain loop is shame is actually driving that brain loop in you even more. Like it's like driving it in at
Yeah.
your neural pathways. So it's just about like, let's lessen that a little bit and let's work on rewiring it. With that big picture, why does improving your nutrition in this way about having more of an energizing lunch and
Mhm.
or snacks available for you, why does that matter?
It matters because, first of all, I don't feel like me.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to feel different than I did before I had kids because
Sure.
they're going to take the energy. But I don't even fully know how to explain it, but it doesn't feel like me. Like it's not even that I'm looking at my body. I mean, even that's not so much the issue. Yeah, of course there are things I want to change. But it's just that I don't feel like I can accomplish the goals that I had throughout the day. Like I'm really tired. just being tired.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to be able to meet my family where they need me. I want to be able to meet my house where it needs me. I want to be able to meet myself where I need to be. I want to be able to give the time to myself. And right now, all my time to myself goes to a nap because
Mm,
that's what I have the energy for. And while that's great,
mhm.
I want to do the other things too.
That's
Yeah.
hitting me. That's hitting me. Like, I am tired of being tired.
Yeah.
And as part of that, you're tired of not feeling like yourself.
Yeah.
So when you think of having energy, what you're really saying is feeling like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So with that, that is actually going to be a compass for what we help you do. Because we know the standards here is that you want to feel like yourself. You want to have energy. And that means you need foods that are energy boosting for you, which is going to look
Hmm.
different for each one of us, but made with low energy in mind.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So with those, I would almost say like guardrails of what this is really about. Okay. Um, let's just get into a place of potentializing. Like that means we just, are
Yeah.
inserting potential into this. And there are no wrong ideas. You can say it all. Let's just wave a magic wand here and you tell me, what would a lunchtime habit, we'll talk about the snacks in a bit. What would a lunchtime habit or lunchtime food look like for you that make you feel like yourself, provide energy, but with low energy in mind?
Honestly, my lunchtime foods that I find that I enjoy the most are salads.
Okay.
So if we have it has to have protein in it because my husband has to have his protein. Honestly, it helps me as well, but he's very adamant about those proteins. But I love salad. And so having a salad available, like leftovers from dinner or something, I will eat that 2 times later in the week. Recently gone salad, but sometimes the idea of taking that out of the bag and
Yeah.
putting it all together, I'm just like, no, not up for it.
Okay.
Smoothies. I like the lighter lunch foods. Don't
Okay.
really go for the heavier stuff. So
Okay.
salad, smoothies. Even if I make a sandwich, like a picnic lunch type thing. So
Like
those are
almost like a
the things.
charcuterie board kind of thing.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, like a sandwich with some fruits and some
Got it.
cheese or yogurt or whatever. Those kind of things.
I love the idea of a picnic lunch. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can think of that meets our guardrails that we have these parameters in place that maybe you just haven't thought of quite yet or other ideas out there?
Off the top of my head, can't think of anything,
That's okay.
but my brain doesn't work either.
That's okay. Um,
So,
and it's not because I'm like, you're missing a big one here
right.
and this is a
Yeah.
test and you must answer. But let's just leave a little open space here because maybe some more
Yeah,
ideas will come up for
absolutely.
you.
There's very possibly other things,
Okay.
but I
Well,
just can't think of them.
that's fine. And maybe I almost don't want to like give you the answers because again, I don't think there are right answers here, but I mean some other things I'm thinking that come to mind are, carrot sticks and crackers or cottage cheese or slices of cheese, like kind
And
of
I
that.
haven't even thought about things like that for lunch,
Mhm.
obviously, but something like that, even
Like a kind of like a
simple.
grab situation.
Yeah, cottage cheese doesn't take much.
Mhm.
One thing I really like is opening a can of peaches with the cottage cheese.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And that's more of a grab it and put forth little effort type.
Yes. 'Kay. So something like that could be good for a very low energy day. So maybe we have our grab foods, maybe we have our make foods, or maybe we have our make ahead foods. And I don't know
I
if it's
like that
helpful to
idea.
have those divisions, but
No, I think that could be really helpful.
okay. So let me write down what I just said so I don't forget. So we have our grab foods, we have our make now foods,
Or the make ahead
are the
foods.
make aheads. Oh, what about like scrambled eggs or fried eggs or any? I mean, I'm trying to
Oh,
think of
yeah,
other stuff like
those
that for you.
could work. That would be in that make now foods. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Now we have the option to go through those three categories and just add a whole lot there. And
true.
we could do that. I think that'd be pretty easy to do though. Maybe how about we just run through it really quick? Okay. So like under grab, we've got so far you said the cottage cheese and peaches.
Some leftover thing that all I have to do is
Yes.
put in the microwave.
Perfect. So leftovers. Also like veggies that are already prepped, like
Yes.
carrots. Like
The carrots. Yeah, carrot sticks. Just
baby
pull them down.
carrots.
Baby
Yeah.
carrots. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like baby tomatoes or something like that. It's just
Yes.
okay.
Or other like fruit.
Yes, fruit.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
any
Like an
type of
apple.
fruit.
Yeah, banana, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about cheese? Do you like cheese?
I do like
Like
cheese.
sliced cheeses? Okay.
Yeah.
What about crackers? Do you like crackers?
Yes. I do like crackers. I don't get those as much because they leave my kitchen very quickly.
Ah, yes, I get that. Mine is they end up everywhere over
Oh,
the
the crumbs.
house. Yeah,
They're gone fast and the crumbs are everywhere.
yeah, yeah. I
And
hear
I
you.
got like 3 of them.
Yes. Okay. I so get you with this. Okay. No, this is good. I also like those late July tortilla chips.
Oh, yeah.
The multi-grain ones, and I like dipping those in cottage cheese. I don't know if that's
That's
something you like.
that's a fun idea.
Okay, so we've got a good list here under the grab section.
Absolutely, we do.
Um, ha- we'll come back to this, but this seems like the grab section to me feels like a good baseline.
Yes.
On your worst of days, I can heat up some leftovers, or I can grab some maybe carrots and some cheese, maybe some tortilla chips. Like I can grab on a baseline day. I can grab. Okay. Make now foods. I put eggs down, smoothies. I'm referring back to the list, like the salad kits,
Mhm.
picnic lunch.
Yes, that one for sure.
Did I miss anything there?
I think sure I would probably do,
Okay.
and that's and yeah.
What about, do you like toast? And I know like sometimes with thyroid stuff, like they advise you to maybe take out gluten or anything like that. So I'm not sure if that's
They
okay.
do. I'm not to the point yet because
You're getting
currently
diagnosed. You're figuring
I'm
it out.
barely diagnosed. We still have to figure out where the hormones all need to be. So
Got it. Okay.
until that's settled, I'm not changing my diet except to like put more emphasis on it.
You know what? I honestly think that's very smart. Because we also don't need to add to your stress right now. Um, and like eliminating whole food groups. The goal is to just eat food,
Yes.
like eat food groups. Okay.
And get energy.
Yeah. Energizing food groups. I love it. Okay. So I did put eggs, I put toast, smoothies, salad kits, picnic lunch. Okay. Make ahead. And this is me kind of thinking about like the potential habit of meal prepping. I don't necessarily think you need to do that. Um, but that can involve like maybe more complex, maybe not even complex salads, but salads of things that you like a kale. Kale lasts a long time in the fridge, like with other ingredients with it. You know how other salad just gets yucky?
Yeah, they get mushy really quick.
Yeah, kale doesn't, but that also may not be. I love, by the way, let's make sure with your guardrails, enjoyment is on that list because I
Absolutely.
think that's a vital. So
I
are
won't
there
eat I
anything?
just won't eat it if it's not if I
I
don't
think
like
you're
this.
smart. Yeah, no to eat. Okay, so are there any potential make ahead? Like if I were to meal prep a lunch for a week, what kind of things could that be?
You know, it could be something like a rice bowl
Ooh,
or salad, like the salad ideas where you can I mean,
like
even
hearty
if you don't have it
salads.
all mixed together,
Yeah,
have it like kind of together in the fridge. So I just take it out, dump it, and eat it.
Yes. Yes. Add your dressing.
Yeah, maybe
And then
cook up grill up some chicken or something
yes.
on the weekend or something or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, like so rice bowls and salad to me is my automatic go-to of the things that I would think of.
I love both of those. That's great. So rice bowl, salad bowls. Um, so you're reminding me like one thing I did after I had my baby last year, 2023, is I got in the same place. I'm like, I don't have time or the energy to make myself
Yeah.
food, but I'm also like I can't function without it. And I'm just grabbing things that I don't even want or that
Right.
aren't like filling. I was having the same issue. So one of the things I made was egg sandwiches. And the weird thing is you can actually put them in the fridge and they'll be fine. Like, you can make, like, 4 egg sandwiches with, like, English muffin, and you just
Oh,
heat it in the microwave just a little bit when you're ready to
interesting.
eat, and it actually was really good. Like, I was surprised. I even froze them too for a bit there.
You can freeze them. I would do that. I
It
love
was
a
easy to
breakfast
prep.
sandwich. Yeah.
Okay.
I love breakfast sandwiches.
Well, and the funny thing too is I did love the kale salads. I really went through that stage a lot. But it actually took a long time to prep those, surprisingly. I was like, "Oh, like toasting nuts and then straining beans and chopping up the kale and massaging the kale and cooking the chicken, making the dressing." It was a little bit more time intensive than I realized it would be, so it's still a good one, though. Okay, so
Okay.
we've got
I'll keep that in
breakfast
mind.
sandwiches, rice bowls, salad bowls. I That's a great list. I don't really see you needing much more than
Absolutely.
that. It could also be like breakfast casserole, like where it's like hash browns and eggs and some veggies in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Forgive me for giving suggestions. I hope that's okay
Oh,
that I offered up some
ideas are
ideas.
ideas are helpful. Ideas
Okay.
are helpful. So,
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So we've got the grab meals, we've got the make now meals, and we've got the make ahead meals. Now, of these, I think we could strategize on maybe you doing a make ahead day and what that could look like so you have the energy to do that. Like maybe it's a day where your husband doesn't work, so you can have some time, like an hour. Like if we make sure these meals are makeable within an hour or less to just
absolutely.
prep your lunches for a week or even for like a couple of weeks. Like if you do the freezer route on some of these things, like the
Yeah.
breakfast casserole or the egg sandwiches. Um, so we could do that. And then we also can have,
Okay.
like, on the other days where you just have a little bit of energy, you can make now. But I think more than anything, I want you to be in the habit of a baseline where you're putting yourself on the list, just like you do for your 2 other kids that you're feeding lunch to every day. What do they like?
Mhm.
What do they need? And it's the same thing with you. Like, what can I grab today that I like and I need? That is simple, but it feeds me. It makes me on the list. How does
Yeah.
it feel to you?
It feels really good because even just like making a list of ideas, just even those like those grab things is just I can see how it benefits me. To have energy to do all of it.
Yeah.
I can dump stuff in a bowl that I would enjoy that would boost my energy. I can do that very easily.
So one thing I'm thinking about the hurdles that we have, especially if you are dealing with like a new diagnosis, still very young children, a 6-month-old. I mean, that's so much right there. Like that is so
Yes.
much in terms of draining energy. So, one thing that could be an obstacle is when you get to that moment and it's just another decision and decisions take energy or trying to recall the different categories and the different
Mhm.
options. So if I could encourage you to just write on a piece of paper the make now meals and the grab meals and just tape it up on the inside of a cabinet door,
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
right by in your kitchen. So that way, when the moment comes that you're opening those cabinets to make the food for your kids, You can see that and remember, well, what can I grab now?
Yeah.
Look at that list. What can I make now? Because I have a little bit more energy today.
Yeah.
So that way you don't have to remember, you don't have to really make a decision. You can just choose from one of those decisions.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do for my 3-year-old. I had this
Yeah,
ideas of what he's gonna eat, so I
that's
just,
awesome.
just take something that I know I've got the list, so
Yeah.
just have the list for me too.
Well, and having that list is another, it can help with another hurdle too, which is having the food in stock.
Yes. Yes.
So when you're grocery shopping, if you make a list before, you can reference
Mm,
that paper and just say, well, what do I need on here that I don't really have on hand? And or maybe that's part of what the habit is that we're getting you into is making that list of, I mean, in terms of shopping and making sure these things are on there. But hopefully it can be a reference that way.
absolutely. So we definitely do the shopping list, and
Oh, great.
having that as another reference. I mean, we know what we get for the boys' lunches. We
Yeah.
know what we get for the baby's lunch.
Hmm.
We know what we get for dinners and breakfast. He usually eats leftovers. I'm the one that I don't think about. So
Yeah.
there we are, making it a point. So
Well, and I mean, this is all going back to a bigger picture for me of it's not about the food, it's about putting
mm,
yourself on your list. And I mean that
yeah,
quite literally.
yes.
Quite literally, Crystal. This is like this is cool to me. Like this is what we're doing.
And thinking about it before, because if it's going to be in the same place where I'm going to grab something for my little boy, I'm going to be able to think about what I want earlier on rather
Yeah.
than after the fact. Where I'm like, okay, I've got to eat, but I am so tired and don't want to do anything. But if
Yeah.
I can think about it earlier,
Hmm.
I'm also more likely to follow through with it.
And this also goes back to the third category, the make ahead category. If it's made ahead, it becomes a grab food,
Yes,
which is really convenient. So we're going to talk about that, like how to strategize that. But I actually think the grab section can be the same as your snacks.
that is true. That's an easy way of doing it. It doesn't have to be a quote unquote lunch
No?
to count as lunch. It can be a vegetable and a protein or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds
And,
good.
and I think it goes both ways. Like maybe for lunch, you take a couple of those grab items, but maybe you need more energy in a little while, then you can take one or two of those items and that's
Yeah.
your snack. So, okay, good. Let's talk about the make ahead thing. I just want to help you think that very get more specific on what that could look like. So, you tell me what kind of day or what kind of preparation would be suitable for you right now in your time.
One nice thing is that if my husband's home, he would definitely do it with me. He is all on board for me meeting these goals. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like, so I would probably do it on a day that he's home. He
Mhm.
works from home pretty much every Friday. So I wonder even if Fridays would be the best. Or maybe
Okay.
like a Sunday afternoon after going to church and having just a quieter afternoon and stuff.
Okay.
Those would be my go-to times.
Okay. I think that's great. Does your baby nap in the
She
afternoons?
does.
Okay.
She does. And my 3-year-old, he's hit and miss with naps,
Okay.
but he does go to his room and he's very independent playing.
Well,
So I
you're
have
such a
time in
good
the
mom.
afternoons.
Love it. Okay. So we know for sure it's either Friday during nap time or Sunday during nap time. And when I'm thinking through those options, Sarah, I think you're both great. I always like to design our habits around our hurdles, meaning our obstacles, what our limitations are. So I'm wondering, like, is the end of a week, is that a very low energy time for you? Like, even though it's a Friday afternoon and your husband's around, is that still a big factor? Or is that like the best time because Sundays you just need to rest, like you just need to hang out or you like to go for a family walk? Like I'm just trying to think of what the obstacles could be to either of those.
Both of them, because it could be that Sundays are exhausting.
Mhm.
So really, I'd probably have to approach it as if I have the energy on Friday,
Yep.
then we can do it.
Mhm.
If we don't have the energy on Friday, I will try for Sunday, but we go shopping on Saturday. So I will make sure we have more of those grab foods in the
Good.
event that I can't prep it on Sunday. If something happens and Sunday's just too much of a being rest that day. So
So, okay.
actually give myself multiple options over a few days to kind of just feel through what happens with life.
And so this is great. I love the thought process here. So let's stick with Fridays. And what we can do is have you like move forward with this. You try it out, but your whole point is to just be curious about it. Does this work? And if so, how? If it doesn't work, if so, how? So that way I can try something else, whether it's a different day or I have a different process that makes it easier or it's a simplified way of doing it. Proceed with curiosity. That's what we're going to say.
I like that.
One other potential obstacle I thought of as you were talking about is like, would you have enough food on Fridays to make to meal prep ahead?
Well, that's true,
If you're shopping, if you typically shop on Saturdays,
which we do. That is questionable.
because you don't want to have to shop twice, unless
No,
you do grocery delivery or pickup. And maybe
we
it would be
do.
nice to do
Yeah,
that for just your Friday meal
that's
prep.
what it would be for my meal prep. I would do if I were to like go on a Thursday or a Friday morning to pick something up or whatever. It would just be a pickup that day. Saturday's grocery shopping is one of us takes a kid and we go do a date. So
Okay, yeah, it
that
sounds like
one's a
a
go
fun
to the store.
tradition
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, okay. So what I want this to be is not a give a mouse a cookie habit where it's causing more problems, but it's the
Right.
idea of just doing a quick delivery or pickup that's just about your Friday meal prep. If that feels doable, then great, go with it. But I also want to give you permission to change your mind and for you to
Yeah.
decide,
I'll
okay,
have to give this some thought.
yeah, I think even though Sunday's exhausting, if I'm doing it during nap time, I'm getting help with my husband. He's doing it with me, and we got the food the day before, so I'm not doing 2 rounds of list making
Yeah.
and still shopping, even if you're doing it online and it's getting picked up or whatever. Then maybe that will
I'm almost wondering if Sunday would be better because of that.
okay. Well, how about we just start that for now? Let's just
Yeah.
say Sunday,
Shoot for Sunday. We'll
shoot for
shoot for
Sunday. I like that. Okay, we'll shoot for Sundays, and again, proceed with curiosity.
but
So
we'll
what
make
we
sure that we have enough of the grab stuff from the shopping list from the
yes.
shopping on Saturday as well.
Yeah, no matter what on Saturdays, it's mom's on the list,
Yeah.
okay? For grab stuff and for the make ahead stuff, and also the make new, which it seems like you
Yeah.
have that stuff already.
Yeah, make sure my stuff's there.
Yeah,
Yes.
your stuff's on there. So from here, you're gonna make that list.
Yes.
I would actually do all 3 categories on there just so you don't have to wonder, like, wait, what was the make ahead thing I was thinking of? Um, put that list, hang it up. If you want me to be your accountability buddy, you could take a picture and you can email it to me. I'd love to
Oh,
see that.
I can do that. Absolutely.
Doesn't have to be pretty, because if you're like me, sometimes I'm like, "But I want it to look nice, and it has to be
Yes.
laminated."
And
Don't do it.
in
Just
order. Just right now, just put it up.
yeah, you can do the cute stuff later if and when you want to or have the time. So right now, I wanna see an ugly piece of paper. Okay,
Done.
great. And with this, what I love is in this conversation, we basically taken care of 3 big problems. 1, your energy, 2, how you're feeding yourself at lunch, and 3, the snacks, right? Um,
Mhm.
so
Absolutely.
this is encouraging, and at the same time, just remember it may not be fixed overnight, and it's okay to be patient with yourself because what you're
Yep.
looking at here are a couple habits and even systems that are new. So
Yes.
if all you can tackle right now is the baseline of making sure you have grab food, like the grab food, that's really where I'd encourage you to start the most is being in the habit every single time at lunchtime, at the bare minimum, having food you can grab for yourself.
Okay. That's a good place to start. I like the idea. And
And
I like
also,
the idea of making that the baseline because
yes,
if I have the list right there visible, I can always just get it.
it is important to name it as a baseline because like this is the baselines are the smallest and simplest versions of our habits. I know you know this, but a whole part of the baseline is it's designed to be done with your lowest amount of energy.
Mhm,
I say that to everybody. So it's really applicable though to your situation. So that way
mhm,
you always know, even on these worst of days, I can grab a piece of cheese.
mhm,
Okay. Or, and an apple. Like on a worst of day, I could even, maybe you want protein bars on there that you really like or something else like that too. That can be part of your grab foods.
yeah,
And the final thing I would say, Crystal, is it's okay if this is messy too. So, like we talked about, it's okay to stick with the baselines. Even with that, let's say you forget one day, it's a new habit and you didn't think about it. You don't have that grab food. So you're grabbing other things and doesn't really feel great. You can still take a deep breath in that moment and say, how can I put myself on the list now? Even if I feel like, oh, I already did this and this and this. I already ate these things that didn't even fill me up or give me the energy. So the day's lost. It's not. You can
yeah,
start right there. You can grab an apple or a banana
yeah,
and say, I did
absolutely.
it. I did it. I was on the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
This has been
Okay.
so wonderful. I have loved my time with you. What is something that you want to make sure you remember from this call?
Honestly, one of the biggest things was that focus on why it's been so hard for me even is just
Mhm.
that need that I know I have, but I don't feel capable of meeting. But it's not because of the way my brain is thinking. It's not rewiring habit wise that I need to break or whatever. But it's that I'm listening to my body and I need the energy.
Yeah,
So now I need to listen to what will give me that energy rather than the quick fix that will last a few minutes.
the compassion there is a big difference.
Absolutely. That was a definite mind shift for me.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. We have enough guilt going on. We don't
Yeah.
we don't need to layer it on with all these things. But I'm really hopeful that these changes can help you get the energy you need in addition to the medical support that you
Yes.
are already getting. And I'm so glad, but I hope that those shifts you can see a real effect real soon because I know that takes time too.
I'm feeling hopeful about it.
Yeah. Well, I do too. Thank you, Crystal. This has been a wonderful session. I appreciate you and your willingness to do this with me today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.